People, I'm really getting aware of my teeth, and it's really annoying me. And I know my mum, being she wrote about it in the Sun, also had problems with her teeth, with EDS and with them moving and shunting. And I got massive problems with my teeth, and I really need to see a dentist. But I need to see a dentist that's specialised in EDS, really. And I'd like to get some braces on and close my teeth down. I was always really nervous at school about having braces, because people used to take the piss out of kids with braces on. But I really think that I need to get some braces on and straighten my teeth up for a bit, because I am actually 41 and I'm 42 this year, May 17th. I'm looking forward to my birthday. And it's Phoebe's in the house, and it was Phoebe's birthday yesterday, and her birthday party has been cancelled for Saturday because of obviously people saying that they can't gather. So, Phoebe, what would be your ultimate birthday wish other than getting arrested, as you said? What would it be? I said to Phoebe, if all of a sudden you contracted the coronavirus and they said you had 7 days left, what would you go and do? And she said, get arrested. So other than Phoebe getting arrested, what would you do, Phoebe? What would be your ultimate birthday wish? And she's 12 now, so now I can't get into trouble for an 11-year-old being with my children. She's not 13, but she's 12. She's in the middle. So she's been down on the park with Shiloh while I've been watching from the window, and two boys are actually up at Jamie's and Paul's. Shiloh's asleep and Elijah is watering the plants and making cakes with Jamie, who's going to come and do a live with me tonight and cook in my kitchen. So it's going to be the first day that Jamie actually classes himself as a chef, and he's going to come in my kitchen and do live and make a sort of soul food for the soul meal and pack up some food and make some dishes. But Phoebe's here, and it was her birthday yesterday, and she's a little bit grumpy because she hasn't really had her birthday and she's not got a birthday party. So I want to pull off a Kelly style birthday for Phoebe, which means that sometimes I might do something a little bit mad and a little bit crazy just to push somebody outside their box. So Phoebe is currently cuddled up under the blanket, getting cozy. So, because it was Phoebe's birthday yesterday, and she didn't get a proper birthday. It's gone really dark now because I've got all my windows open because we're about to blitz my house. We're about to, oh, they can't see us now. It's gone really dark, which is probably quite cool that they can't see us. There we go, they can see us. Ish, it's gone really dark. I could close my curtains, but should I close my curtains? I'll put the blinds up a minute. I'll put the blind back up. I can't put the blind up because the window's open. So, and my heart's up there, but I can see slightly. So anyway, I went skipping again last night, and shall I show you what I got before we start? Yeah. I got
that painting.
This painting.
A bit mirrored.
You won't be able to pick the mirrors up, I don't think. So this painting was thrown in the skip outside my local charity shop. So we've got a painting, and Phoebe's managed to get one of the mirrors. So this is another one of the mirrors. And then be careful, don't you smash it. 2 candelabras, but I need some brass stuff, and I need some stuff to clean them because I'm actually going to spray them. And this lovely porcelain doll. Phoebe's got another mirror. So this is another mirror, a rectangle long mirror that I found. And hang on, they're a bit wet. Ugh. I've just had to put my hands in the bowl because I was actually soaking these. So a load of proper silver stainless things, a cookie cutter, and I think that's it for this time. And the boys decided to get my folders out as a ramp today. So they pulled out one of my books, and I was going to put it back, and I thought, no, sod it, because I had a quick look in it, and I thought, let's try and get rid of this bright light. So look at us, seriously, kids on phones. Phones. What's the latest thing for kids to be on their phones for now? It's TikTok, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're all using TikTok.
Wait, I'll screenshot it.
So basically, the kids here are trying to get me to go on TikTok because they think it would promote. So apparently I need promoting, and they think I should go on TikTok. However, one of the kids actually put me on TikTok the other day doing Dance Monkey. So this is TikTok, isn't it? So what are the kids listening to on TikTok? What's the latest? Now I go mental sometimes when I hear this song. What's the latest TikTok thing for the kids? So what are all the kids of 11, 12, 13 listening to on TikTok? Get away, girl.
That's okay.
Come on, show us. Come on, TikTok, girl. We're going live on TikTok here from my crack foot. Come on. So Phoebe is. Oh, that's nice. They're grinding it. Come on, Phoebe. So Phoebe is a dancer, aren't you, Phoebe? Maybe Phoebe is a dancer. So hopefully you can all hear me because I'm not on my phone. My phone is broken. I dropped it in the middle of my attitude with a gratitude over nappies in Asda the other day. And after I went live, I dropped my fucking phone. Excuse my French, Phoebe. So
Like I've never said words.
Well, you shouldn't be swearing. It's not really nice.
I'm a fish.
You're a fish.
Yeah.
We've all got to be fish. Anyway, the boys are upstairs and Elijah is cutting up all the bread for the fish, funny enough. So you've been cutting bread up there, haven't you? And watering the plants. So Elijah's up there with scissors and bread and all of the things. Oh, he's not allowed the scissors up there, is he not? Oh, this is going to be fun because I'd let him have the scissors. Oh, other people's homes, other people's rules. Dad? Yes.
What's the thing that blows up in his eye?
It's a tear duct, blocked tear duct. He has a blocked tear duct on his eye, Jamie's dad.
I wanted to ask you about what it is.
So anyway, I've opened the blinds and the curtains. I'm wazzing out. I'm going to do a full-blown try to clear out while the boys are upstairs. So I'm going to be blaring the music. It will give me an idea to see who's around and who's not around as well, because I have verbatim. And try and get this into order, really. So it's been so nice. I've probably got about 2.5 hours of the boys upstairs, maybe. So I want to get through here as quick as possible and get the kitchen straight. Because it literally, I have got a 1,000-piece puzzle on my floor. The boys have been in their magazines and all the clothes have found themselves in my living room again, but they are actually quarantined and boxed off into the boys' stuff, my stuff, apart from one little pile. So I want to get as much as this done properly, and I have a chance that the Queen's are going to turn up on Saturday. So if say mother turns up on Saturday with nappies, one said daughter doesn't want said mother turning up on one said premises to such said clutter, because one said mother has higher standards than one said daughter right now. And yeah. Oh my word, what have you
But you as a daisy.
I look really cute. That's quite funny. That's actually quite funny. My phone does a lot of all this sort of stuff, as I'm finding out as it's doing crazy little things. So anyway, this little book, first page in this little book is I've got so many of these little books, by the way, but the first page of this thing is literally how much social media is meant to be running. So for those that don't see in the back office of what I was trying to do, and this was also around a line of understanding the difference in the pagans and Christians, because obviously the pagans worship things differently. So Monday was Moon Day, Tuesday was Norsic Day, obviously Sunday was the day of sun. So we're meant to be that the day of rest is actually Sabbath Day, which was Saturn. And then obviously I was looking at all of the things and blah 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 blah. And then I had written, this was the 13th of December before all this went on with social. So I'd basically written my 90-day 13th December, obviously for the launch of my book. I will write my book, blah, 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 blah. I don't need my PhD. I can write a book. I'm writing a book. I've written a book. It was fun writing my book. I self-published my book. I did it myself with online guidance. I sold my book before it was written. I wrote my manuscript before in 90 days, and that was me setting myself up with my nice little diagram and picture of my little end result of my book. And then basically I have so many of these books with sort of like Ready, Aim, Right and I'm Ready, Trust the Process stuff. And this was my little bang my head here for when I was feeling a little bit frustrated with it all. And then obviously my killer excuses. I do this all the time. In fact, I do this every Sunday. So every Sunday evening, I literally sit there and I jot down like my bits. Hey there, Nikki, how you doing? Thanks for joining us today. And Claire, chucked out. Oh my god, nice find. Oh no, they do. I'll go skipping. Seriously, my mum would be absolutely mortified with me, especially if anyone actually took photographs of me as I was doing it, because even the one last night I was so gutted because I really wanted to get quite a lot of the stuff out at the bottom. So if you imagine the proper big skips, I literally get in the skip, and this one wasn't that full, but there was so much broken stuff down. I actually cut my finger and my knuckle because all of the cutlery was at the bottom, and I was like, do I rescue it all or do I rescue the bits? But basically I don't think people realize, because people give so much to charity, people give so much to social care and all of that, but they don't have the infrastructures in place to deal with it. Social care, so at social care the radio stations and everybody come around and they drop off all of these presents for people under social care. In fact, actually, Phoebe, you probably won't mind asking this question, do you ever get like at Christmas and stuff, people dropping off Christmas presents and stuff for you?
From here.
From social care and things like that? No.
Unless my social worker comes on and gives me.
Does she ever actually give you things at Christmas and Easter?
I have been given.
Do you get Easter eggs?
Yeah.
From social? So she gets the Easter eggs. I think just literally after Anne and Faith were taken, they came around with the Easter eggs, and I was really annoyed because it was like, hang on a minute, you're going to come around with this stuff. So basically they don't have enough people to actually take it out to the people. Like now, I don't think people realise food banks here in Portsmouth, can't talk about anywhere else, but Phoebe is now off school, but Phoebe can go to school because, like me, has diagnosis, so she'll talk about whatever she wants to talk about. Mum knows she's here, always knows what I'm about, so it's just one of them we keep under wraps. But Phoebe's going to be a shining star performing on stage, so she needs to get used to building her confidence and being okay with people going click 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 click. And unfortunately, when you're an artist, you don't really get a, say, private life per se in this world, and it's really nice to see a lot of the artists being really real and raw, and it's nice to see everyone in their joggers and everybody chilling out. And we've been out on the basketball court, haven't we, and pretty much everybody's out there in hoodies and tracky bottoms and things and just chilling and just sort of grazing to see what's going on, what's not going on, what Parliament have got to say, the decisions that people are saying. But at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people are saying this is no different than a cold, but I know here in the UK the death toll's up to 146 or something. What you've got to remember is people are in their homes self-isolating as well. We've been literally locked down mentally, haven't we? So we've been told mentally that we have to be locked down in our homes. Children, nurseries are now closing. Our community centre literally closed on the very first day. The park, I saw the staff at the park today. Why is the park closed though, isn't it? Yeah, so our park's closed. We get into the actual main, can we get dry tokens at the moment? So I don't know that. Yeah.
They're open till to reopen.
Today?
No, till 5 o'clock they're open.
So the actual main community centre, not the community centre.
Like the housing office is open.
The housing office is open, so only apparently the housing office is open. So I need to get over there at some point, and I might quickly jump over in a minute and go and find out what's going on with dry tokens, because once that shuts, then obviously natural stuff. I'm hoping that someone's going to have the common sense in this country to treat as the Tesco's, all those big places, as like a warehouse, and just basically say to the community, look, go online, and if you can't get online, then let's make sure we all know what everybody basically needs over these weeks. Because from what I understand, they're sort of saying that this quarantine, let's not say lockdown, because that's a conspiracy word, lockdown, but quarantine, will go on worldwide, potentially through to June. I have heard rumours that obviously May, and they're saying that the kids are not going back to school till September. So obviously government is pretty much on strike, so to say. I think their focus is more on G5 and obviously locking things down, but I don't want to get pulled away. Are they still saying this? They're still saying on TikTok, by the way, and I don't know if it's conspiracy. I haven't looked into it yet, but people are being told that Donald Trump is actually holding back that he was tested positive for the virus. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not true. Would Donald Trump tell you? Probably not, because you would quarantine him. So he would probably hold the fort. Yeah, what do you do to somebody? He's saying he's not, and he's tested negative. It's how they're dealing with the people who are testing positive that is where we, the public, need to sort of say, well, look, how's this going? Is our doctors closed, or is the doctors open over the back?
You have to ring them up and they'll have to come to you.
You have to ring them up, so it's closed, so you can't actually.
At one point, they in they locked down people, made people fall asleep in their own homes, and then safely put masks over their face and put them in their body suit while they were asleep, while they were knocked out basically, and they took them to a room. Well, none of them are allowed to move.
Okay, so basically, I don't know what's, because obviously kids are getting stuff off TikTok, and what parents need to be putting into control, being your kids are at home now, is making sure that your kids are getting proper information, that you're aware of what they're reading and what they're getting, because we've already spoken to one of our kids here when we went to the park, and she won't come out with us. So, but then obviously after we've gone out, quite a lot of people have gone out again, but there were people out before us. But it comes to the World Organization, whether we believe it's a flu or not, do you really want to take the risks when they say it's a big sweep? Look, the frackers are going to move to the sites of G5 anyway. You're not going to stop the frackers from doing that. Everybody's going to move over to the sites of G5. They have to clear the way for G5. People have to accept that this is not conspiracy, that this is just common sense. It's common sense. How do you get an entire world to have the infrastructures of G5 in place? It would be better for them to tell us that. It would be better for them to say, look, we've got this G5 product. This is what it's going to do for you. This is what we're selling it to you at. We need to put it in. So we're asking everybody to please go shut down for the day. We're going to give you a holiday. We're going to put this amount of money into your account, but we're asking you to stay online for a bit. And this is how long we're going to do it for. And this is why, because we're going to be putting the infrastructures in it. Do you want it? Do you not? And then therefore, as a public, we should be voting whether or not we even agree with G5. G5 has positives and negatives, as with anything, as with water, as with absolutely anything that exists. Do you know what G5 is?
Absolutely not.
No. Do you know what G4 is?
Absolutely not.
Do you know what a mobile phone is?
No.
Do you know what that little number is up at the top of your phone that says G4 or G3?
Gigabytes.
Okay, so basically we as a nation and world have upgraded technology. Yes, so yours says G4, 4G. So I keep saying the other way around, but so basically we as a world are running on what's called 4G, and 4G is basically the gigabytes that our technology world is existing on, gigabytes, nanobytes, and all of this stuff. Everybody remembers the good old telephone poles what we have, but nobody wants to get home near them because we already know about frequencies raised and stuff like that. If you don't know what G5 or 5G is, therefore you should be looking into 5G and saying, well, hang on a minute, as a public, we have a right to vote whether 5G should be put into our homes, schools and places with our consent. It shouldn't be done hidden and sneakily in the way that I believe, and many other believe, I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll be the first person on here in September to come on and say you were not outside iPhone going and getting your latest phone. I promise you, and I guarantee you that this Christmas, mate, you are all going to be lining up for the latest technology under G5, and you're all going to be outside queuing up, waiting for your new brilliant new phone on G5. I promise you that, and I'm going to stand by that conviction. And if I'm wrong, it's because we've saved your damn bloody arses and we've held it off, and you will see publicly that the sales of the latest, or the G5 that has already started. It's already started, guys. G5, 5G has already started. It's already been put into places where lands are available. It's now dealing with the places that have been colonized. So the places where there are infrastructures in, where they have to remove people from their homes. They're already taking people out of cities. They're already taking large buildings down. They're already taking down places. But my information and how I feel this should be done is it should be done under transparency. It should be done under talking to the public about it. It should be explaining what humanoids are. It should. Do you know what a humanoid is?
No, there's a new phone coming out in 2 years.
New phone coming out in 2 years.
Morgan's getting it apparently, even though Mum said no.
What's the new latest phone coming out?
iPhone 11 Pro.
iPhone 11 Pro.
The new one's gonna be iPhone 12, but Morgan's saying I'm getting it, even though Mum said you can't get it because I can't afford it.
So people are already planning for a new phone in 2 years' time. So look, pretty much most of us, my legs are going to go dead and I'm just going to twist my legs out. Pretty much most of us, my mum can't argue with me right here and right now. And if she wants to argue with me, hi mum. But if she wants to argue with me, she can do, because my mum is my best critic, because she's the first to slam me down if she thinks I'm getting pulled on something. In fact, my mum has pulled up David Witcher, by the way, and she's telling me that Dave Witcher is a fearmonger. And I've already felt this. And if my mum is saying it, mate, I listen, because when my mum speaks, as much as she doesn't think I listen, I listen. So I will be going with a guarded heart with all information coming through from that network, which I already have done, because Dean's the same. Dean's exactly the same. So when mummy says it, I listen. But my mum will know, and she can vouch for me on this, that my first stepdad, but just to get the order right, I really want to know where Colin was from, because I want to go to this motorbike shop, by the way. I really blah, 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 blah. Mick, I'm going to say his name, Mick, was I think, from my understanding, I don't know if it was his hobby or from the army side or blah, 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 but it was in computer programming. And he said, when we were watching Batteries Not Included and Johnny Five is Alive, he said about the cash cards and things like that. So obviously my interest in things like Terminator came from a point of view of listening to somebody from an electronic sort of point of view. And even though I was only a child, I still listened, I still watched all sorts of films. It is but just a film. However, in 2015, films were released already about the isolation of said one virus that would take one said respiratory. People prophesize, and obviously the book of Revelations already prophesized that this was said coming times. I didn't think I'd see it in my generation. However, in December, obviously there was the birds in Wales that hit. If people have been looking, this is a virus, said natural, say, virus, or said injection into one said bat to take a virus out, which would be very easy to do.
Fault, but it's not actually China's fault, because a virus doesn't pick. Like, it's not like saying that it doesn't have a mouth, it doesn't choose who it does attacks to.
Well, Phoebe's saying they're blaming China, but what Phoebe's saying,
Donald Trump is I'm putting a war up with China because that will stop it from the air.
Yeah, and what she's actually saying is quite common sense. Actually, she's basically saying a virus doesn't pick. It can come from somewhere. So yes, per se, someone could have said eaten a bat and had the shites and caused the virus, blah blah blah, and then the virus comes out. Lots of different speculation, whether it came up from Washington, Australia, blah 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 blah. We know that Australia was the first person to sign Agenda 21. Whether something's man-made or whether something is natural, it doesn't matter whether it's the bird flu, it doesn't matter what it is. It would be common sense. We would do it naturally. If said bird flu or said normal flu or nits was going on around school, what do they do for nits now? Do they send you all home, or do they?
No, they send it out home saying, you go through your child's hair.
So basically, for every single person to go through their children's hair, check if they've got nits. If they have got nits, then obviously treat them, sort it out, and then obviously send them back to school. If they haven't got nits, then send them back to school. If they've got nits, do they ask you to stay off school for any particular time? No, they basically just treat it. But what if you don't treat it and you keep coming into school with nits?
Well, there was a boy called Evan.
You're on live.
There was a boy, yeah, and everyone accused him of having nits. And those people went to the teacher's attention, and all they sent a letter home to his mum. But because his mum was friends with one of my mum's friends, apparently they sent her home. She didn't treat them, and then they just kept sending letter homes, but he didn't actually have them.
No, you didn't actually have them, funny enough.
So they're just accusing it.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, it doesn't really matter whether this is fear-mongering, whether government, whether it's about G5, whether it's about a virus, whether it's about whatever. I actually find it really lovely.
5G.
It's 5G even. It's been lovely. It's been really nice and peaceful outside, and I tend to find that the people that are outside are quite happy people, quite bubbly people, quite chatty, quite interactive with people. And it is actually really nice. It's like happy people are out and the depressive people have gone in. And I really love that. So the positive people are sort of, you know, my mum sort of said business as usual. And I was like, well, mum, at least be careful, because, you know, this is going to come down to checking to see if you've got the virus. And if you have, then they are going to be quarantining you. So please, like, listen to the fact that I'm saying this. And she's like, oh, no. And it's like, mum, seriously, they will bring the army in. It's like, no. And it's like, but they already have announced that they are deploying. But you've got to remember, they're going to deploy the army in for positive reasons too, because it's going to be about rationalising, making sure that people aren't breaking into Asda and Tesco's and stuff like that. So they are going to have to police places like this. This is where I said, this is where the majority are punished for the minority. So because people out there would actually take off a truck that's got toilet roll on it, then you are going to see army or police bringing in trucks of toilet roll. You are, and that's not bad. That's because there's fucking idiots, excuse my French, out there that would actually. There was a live, wasn't there, about somebody selling toilet roll for £10 in a shop or something? Yeah, cough medicine for babies at 10 quid. You know, people are monopolised from a crisis, because in business they believe that, you know, business is a solution, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It shouldn't be like that. But anyway, I'm going to have to take advantage of my kids being upstairs. I'm going to turn some dance monkey on and spend some time with Phoebe, and maybe go through these clothes, and she can be a bit stricter with me with what makes me look like a clown and what's all right and what's not.
You should actually try it on.
We have a bit of a fashion show and see what I'm going to wear and not wear, because I really don't like some of this stuff. It's not me. It's not my personality. Mummy, can we go shopping, please? If you really are a mummy, that would be absolutely amazing. Yes, mummy. Yes, that's what mummies are for. Credit cards and going shopping with their daughters. Love you, mum. I know you're watching, stalker. It is Mother's Day this weekend, guys. So obviously, if you were to go marching over Mother's Day, then it is likelihood that they're going to march you back to your homes. It's not worth putting anybody in that situation. So what I'm going to ask everybody to do on Mother's Day is to see if you can get one of them masks, and also all of the maternity stuff that they wear in theatre. And Obviously, there are nurses and people out there that really need this stuff. So if you can do it either fancy dress ways or actually prepare. But those masks, by the way, are one-off masks. So like a condom, you can only use them once and then you have to throw them away. So please make sure that you dispose of the masks properly. Giggling because I said condom. So yes, the masks aren't like condoms. You can only use them once. If you cough on the inside of them, then they have to be thrown away. And obviously, if you do find that you've got the virus, please don't just throw them in your bin. Then make sure that you dispose of them correctly and blah, 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 blah. And our country should have some form of common sense now to have inter-community places with community. Like our hub now here should have a nurse on. If the virus is going to sweep us in the way that they say it's going to sweep us, in that it's an airborne. So if you imagine birds going north at a particular time and we all see the birds flying, then that's what they talk about sweep. So if your country, our world is saying a storm is going to hit and we need everybody to contain in, we're going to be shutting things down, then we would listen because there's people out there that are greater and better than us. And if it is obviously something else that's coming towards us, then just obviously be prepared. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what the next hour brings. I haven't had a chance to catch up yet. I haven't really got time because I've got to get my own stuff together really, but more because chances are my mum might knock on the door with some nappies and I want to make sure that mum can sit on the sofa and probably chat to her grandkids for a bit, who obviously she hasn't seen since what happened with, it was the first time she'd actually had them, well, Elijah, for 4 hours, and then obviously I was detained by the police, and the last time I saw my mum, she was really, really frowning at me as the police were walking her that way, and I was stood being detained at a car, and she didn't talk to me, and then I walked past her once, and then obviously saw her at contact over the space of those 5 days. So obviously, yes, I'm not very good at dealing with confrontation with my mum, and I tend to run away because she beats with a freaking stick as far as anywhere. No, she doesn't actually.
I'm
but
gonna go to my house and get my blanket.
So you're going to chill out on the blanket of mine and put some music on and stuff, are you? Okay, we need some. Okay. While you're up there, just make sure that the boys are all right. Yeah, just open the door. She actually lives right opposite where the boys are. So, yeah, so I'm going to go and flip. Actually, while Phoebe's just gone out, there's a couple of things I just want to quickly say because obviously us adults do need to be aware of. I'm going to move so you can't see the sun. Us adults do need to be aware that obviously children are watching what's going on, and whether it be the news in the car, whether it be the news on the radio, whether it be adults talking about what's going on, kids need to, it's going to be very difficult for people to say to kids, look, you've got to stay in, we can't go out, and this is what's going on. Where I'm living at the moment, that fear's already been introduced, that fear's already been put into place because we are like a FEMA camp here. So people have already chosen to be in their homes. As said, say 5 o'clock, 5:30, if I went and stood outside now, I guarantee you I'll pretty much see the lights on in pretty much every block around here because people will be in their homes. Some people are braving it, university students are braving it, but the signs are on the doors that we are under quarantine basically, but we haven't had it enforced. It isn't. Oh, are you in?
Jamie's putting the largest fish on the plane. I'll cover down.
Oh, okay. Oh shite, I've used my cleaning said time, so I need to absolutely crack on because is Elijah, Shiloh awake?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, the boys are awake. Elijah, Shiloh's awake now, so they're coming down. You might go out to the park for a bit to give me a little bit longer. But look, seriously, I have said pile here, and my mummy is not one of those people that would just come in and start folding and doing my ironing.
My mum did.
Yeah, I would. I've cleaned my son's house. My mummy won't even take me to the local hotel in ripped jeans and things. So love you, mum. So anyway, I've got all my paperwork behind me. Dean has locked down, so I'm assuming, I don't know, I'll leave him to it. Sod knows what's going on out there. But yeah, I mean, hats off to all the nurses, hats off to all the doctors, hats off to the people who are with people, not just through this virus, but people like me with EDS, people with arthritis, physical conditions, the NHS, tonsillitis. Have you been into for tonsillitis? Have you? Bronchiolitis.
I have that.
Oh, bronchitis.
No, tonsillitis.
Bronchiolitis.
It makes something bad in your lungs.
It makes it bad in your lungs. So Phoebe's been in with bronchiolitis. What have you been in hospital for? In fact, this would be absolutely brilliant. Amber, here's the new thing, just to say an absolute hats off to all of the people from the NHS. What have you used? What have you used? You got, what's the R stand for?
Riverdale.
Oh, that is really cozy.
Riverdale.
Oh, Phoebe, wow, this is cozy blankets. Seriously, my mum used to take me to Toys R Us, and we used to go in for cuddle tests on all the teddies. So we used to have to go and find. Oh, wow, this is beautiful.
It's from Primark, £6.
These are my snuggle things. This is what I find my cozy, touchy things. I hate knitted things, by the way. I hate anything itchy, and in fact, I argued with schools. It's a very, very Asperger's thing, by the way. But I used to argue with school that I used to hate the school jumpers because it used to make me itchy. And my mum used to actually let me wear a proper good quality one because I used to say, but mum, it itches. I used to cry in school that it was itching. And she actually used to let me have proper shirts and stuff. But school used to make me stand at the back of school assembly and stuff because it wasn't correct uniform. Well, because it didn't have my logo on. My mum wrote a note in to say it's too itchy for her. But this here, this is what I love. So while we are in hibernation, don't think it is isolation, think it's hibernation, guys. End of winter hibernation. So use up all your winter stuff now. Get all your winter veg and all your stocks and all your good soups into you, all your good foods. And defrag, just have a really good defrag, and don't worry about the fearmongers, and don't worry about the faith bringers, don't worry about the spiritual war that is going on so much. It's not your battle, it's not your fight, it's for some of us
Boris
to be.
Johnson's fight.
It's Boris Johnson's battle. Yeah, he chose this position to do this for us. He chose to do this, so he knew what he was getting involved in. He knew what he was going up with, hence why he took us out of the EU, and hence why he's trying to hold Great Britain here under our sort of way of dealing with what's going on. So he chose that role. Our MPs have chosen that role, and our NHS have chosen that role. So unless you are somebody who is on the front line for something like winding you, then unless you're somebody like that, then we've got to listen to some things that are going on, because look, people are coming through it, and it's great, and it's great to sort of turn around and go, look, this is absolutely nothing. But at the end of the day, say my mum gets it, I want to know I can go and take soups around and look after my mum and stuff, but I don't have that sort of family. So, but I'd like to think if I got sick that I'd have somebody who'd bring a soup down. I got Jamie, so probably, and Dean would probably have to come home to look after the kids. But it doesn't matter what virus it is, what sickness it is, whatever it is that we're dealing with. I think this is an amazing time, really, for us to just. I've been talking about knits, so now I've been talking about knits. I just want to scratch my head. Seriously, I hate knits. You bloody gave me knits from school as well.
I did not.
Yes, you
Did not.
Yes, you did.
Did not.
Yes, you did, because I ended up with them. So actually, no, I didn't. It was just Shiloh, wasn't it? But Daniel used to always bring them home from school. So we should safeguard anyway, but we should all love people, love each other, love our neighbours, love ourselves, get really good dentists, really good hairdressers, great accountant, and a fantastic business structure, and thrive in this world, really. And I'd be really interested to see what people thought was their basic needs. So if you have to grab your bag and get out of your house, what would you take with you? What would be your must? Post them down in the comments here. I'd love to see if you had to be frog marched out of your house with your with police and army and craziness and taken down to some place. What would you take with you? What would be your absolute must? And while you're in your home, what are the things that bring you joy and make you happy? If you didn't have the TV and you didn't have telly and you couldn't watch films and you couldn't be on the internet, how would you entertain yourself? What would you do?
Play board games.
Play board games. What was your favourite board game?
Monopoly.
Monopoly. Well, life's like a game of snakes and ladders, isn't it? You go up the ladders, you come down the snakes. But these people are playing a game of chess, and it's not fair and it's not good, because this is people's lives. It's not funny. There are people, especially autistic people, Asperger's people, people with mental health, that don't necessarily understand what's going on and haven't got people around them to explain properly what is going on. Then please be aware of this. Remember, some people are scared and have been fear-mongered into what's going on. And yeah, I think just embrace it. It's so peaceful. It's so quiet. It's so peaceful, isn't it? Anyway, my boys are going to be down in a minute, so I want to quickly get, like, it makes it look worse than it is, by the way, but like, because the pillars are all over the place, like, seriously. And
It's actually comfy.
I've got a big pile and all my paperwork starting to amalgamate again. It's not actually that bad, but the hallway down there, I've just got no room to upholster things, and if I see something, it's like, but I can't leave it. I have to take it with me because it just needs some TLC and to be looked after. And how dare somebody throw that out? And it might be really nice in my home, or it might be really nice for somebody else, but if I had the space, then I would love to be literally spraying things, like my candle things. I want to just get some sprays. I have no sprays, no paints, no nothing. Unfortunately, hello mummy, I've never had parents that have always made sure that I've got the things that I really, really need to do the things that I really, really love. My mum was really good at getting me calligraphy. No, it wasn't. It was my Aunt Melody. My Aunt Melody was the only one in my family, actually, that used to come and bring me things that she knew were things that I loved. She was the one that brought me the roller skates. She was the one that got me my bike. She was the one that used to get me my pens and my pencils and all my drawing stuff. And she was the one that used to put me into my wallpaper and dress me up as a little Indian girl and things like that. But aunties are good at that sort of stuff, aren't they? So, but if it wasn't for my, like, it was my cousin actually that brought me Shakin' Stevens, and my mum was always really good at
being a mum.
my mum. My mum's never been a mum to me. Sorry, mum, but you haven't. She gave me life. I'll be grateful for that all my life. And she taught me there was no such word as can't. And there is a difference between needs and wants. And that I shouldn't focus on the things that I can't do and focus on the things that I can do. And that I'm a strong, independent woman, and that I have to love myself. And what else did my mum teach me? So really, she has been a mum, but not in the ways necessarily that yeah. Well, yeah, my mum will tell you herself. She'd probably even write it in her book that she tells me she will never be the Laura Ashley mum. But funny enough, my mum is the Laura Ashley mum. My mum is the Laura Ashley queen. If my mum actually put herself to it, my mum would be the ultimate top fucking interior designer that you have ever seen. She is the bee's knees when it comes to interior design and things like that. She is, when it comes to making things. I wish she would make my dresses. I wish she would design my clothes for me. I wish she would at least do the foundations and then let me do the, you know, so she can do all of the and all the pinnies, and then let me actually do the designs. I wish she would let me do that. That would be amazing. And then to work my sister, now that would be amazing, because my sister is one of the top interior designers over in Singapore. So, but my mum actually studied with the house doctor, not just studied, but worked with the house doctor. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's always been her proper. She used like market stalls. So, yeah, I shouldn't really say you've never been a mum to me, mum, because yeah, sort of haven't. But it is Mother's Day, and I'm going to focus on all of the things that I love about my mother coming into Mother's Day. And I do this all the time coming into Mother's Day. I always focus on the things that I love about my mum and what I would love to do for my mum on Mother's Day. But unfortunately, my mum's one of them people that go, what's that? Or if I gave her a present, or she finds out about it. Seriously, mum, you're a right cow. And I will tell this straight. My mum hinted for pearl earrings all the way up to Christmas once. And I bloody worked and I saved for these pearl earrings. and she was going to a do, and she obviously knew I had these pearl earrings, but she came to me and she said, I know what you've got me for Christmas. And I said, no, you don't. And I'd hidden these pearl earrings and I was giving them to her Christmas. And she come through and she went like this, and she had a pair of pearl earrings on, and I was heartbroken. They weren't the same ones. She'd gone and got some cheap ones because she knew I'd had some of them for her. But yeah, she crushed me. And I once actually went and found some loads of blue stuff, and I've got a load of blue stuff here, but she's not into all the blue stuff now. So anyway, my kids are back, guys. So come on, 2 seconds. Cover my live still running. Oh, the door, come through. What? Right, guys, my kitty winks are here. Hello. And Jamie's saying he's done a poo. Have you had fun? He's got his foot. You have. What have you been up to?
Spain.
Oh, you've been going through the atlas, haven't you? Phoebe. It's Phoebe. Say hello. Say hi. You have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mummy hasn't done the living room yet, actually. So, I haven't really used my time wisely. So even my mum would have a go at me. But I'm glad I've come on to say hello. I've got to blitz through this because I want to be on live for say maybe 7. Maybe. What time are you cooking, Chef?
Whoa.
What time are you becoming a chef?
Well, in time.
So when the kitchen's done, what time's tea time? What time are you going to be living and
What's the time at the moment?
it is now coming into 5 o'clock.
Well, by by 5:45.
About 5:45.
Yeah.
Oh, we won't be ready by 5:45.
Let's say 7.
We better be.
7:30, live with Jamie, cooking. Because my kids won't be settled. Shiloh's had a sleep, Elijah might. Yeah, what do you reckon? 7:30 or even 9 with no kids up? I don't even know what's going to happen in the next couple of half an hour or an hour. That's what's really crazy about it. That's how much you can't forward plan in these situations, can you? I still got to try and get my phone fixed quickly. I've got to close the windows now because the boys are in and I don't want any Supermen jumping out the window. And the guys in Italy, I do believe are being hit hard. Hopefully all Romans. Anyway, guys, I'm out of it. Catch you later. Mum's probably going to send me an email and have a go at me in a minute. You've got your shoes on. So it's Mother's Day, guys. So get ready to all dance monkey on Mother's Day or something. Let's do something just crazy mad while we're all in and can do something. Or just be yourself on Mother's Day. This is what I say. I am a mother, but this is who I am. You want your shoes on or off? Off. And yeah, so I'm a mother, but this is who I am, and show people who you are as a human being, as a person. And I'll see you all later. Bye.
What you